Hello YouTubers, it's Willie here. I'm here to show you a little bit about an advanced function. I'll try not to bore you to death, but the point of this tutorial is to help you out a little bit with advanced functions in PowerShell. I haven't reinvented the wheel here. This has already been done. I'm just simply here to kind of help out and make a little more sense of what an advanced function is and how to sort of construct it a bit. As you see at the top here, I have the help for this function, which is get OS info data. That's what I've named this one because it grabs inventory information about the operating system and the WMI classes. In this help, there is a synopsis. It just tells you what it's briefly about, more in-depth description, the parameters of what's in this function, and ways to run this function with the examples in the help. Down here, in every single advanced function, you have this commandment binding declaration, which turns on a lot of good stuff, good features. Inside there, you have parameter, this param block, which has the attributes for mandatory, value from pipeline, and help message that adds to the function when you're running it. The alias host name, which can be used with another way of using it, like dash host or dash host name or dash h. Validate count is to sort of restrict it to only 10 computers at once, 1 to 10. If you go 11, it will throw an error. This over here is the parameter for the string computer name. As you can see, these two brackets here bunched up together, they are telling the shell, telling this function that it can accept multiple computer names at once, which I'll show you in a demonstration. Down here is the log error, which works in with the log error, the error log switch. As you can see, in all functions, advanced functions, there is a begin, a process, and an end block. You don't really need the begin and the end, but I have it to complete the function. And when you have the right verbose switch on, you can see where the function's at, and can also be used for very quick debugging. Though that's not what it's used for. There is a debugging in PowerShell itself. Moving on, you'll see there's a process block, and inside the process block there's a for each. Now, the for each, I think if you're at this stage watching this tutorial, you kind of know what a for each does. And all it does basically is the computer names that are piped in, it puts those computer names into a computer variable, and then iterates through this script with a computer variable. As you can see down here, there's a try and a catch, and there's usually a finally, but that'll always run no matter what, and that's not what you always want. Basically, the try and catch is what you want. What will happen is when it runs, it will run this command very first to every computer that's piped in, parameter or either way, value from the pipeline. What will happen is it will test connection or count it once. If it's not there, it's not online. This error action will kick in. It will stop the script from basically executing any further. It will go into here. It will throw the error into this catch block, and basically it will spit out the computer name in a text file that I've nominated for the /failed text file, where all my failed computers go. If it doesn't throw an error, you'll see this verbose saying that the connection was successful. It will skip the catch block altogether. That will be gone, and it will execute this, and it will execute that because if you look up here, I've got that OK equals true variable, means that if it's OK, which it will be, then this will run. What I've done here is basically you'll see three variables that contain the WMI classes, which is the Win32, the computer system BIOS. They are gathering properties. That's all I'm really doing here, into a hash table that I've made down here. All it does is I grab certain properties from those three classes and create my own output with a custom object here, which I called canvas, where you can call object or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I've got this ordered. That means that the output will be the same way as I put it here, which will be in my output. That's a good little trick, but it's a version 3 onwards trick. It won't work with version 2. As we move down here, I hope that you're still with me, and that I haven't fallen asleep or tuned out. But if you've reached this far, I've got down here that end block. That doesn't need to be there, like I said, but it just lets me know that that's the end of the script, and to check the error log at the end if for failed computers. But you don't need that. That's just for my own reminder. And down here, I've just shown you there's a couple of ways of using it. That is, if you use this function with nothing at all, let's just take it away, and I ran that, it prompts me. Now it's prompting me for a computer name because that's what I've put in this param block. It's mandatory. So if there is no computer name there, like you could quite easily put dash computer name, whatever, and then it will do it. But if there's no computer name there, this is what we'll give you. So I'll put localhost, and as you can see, it gets that. But there's nothing else. If you want more information, like I normally do, I put verbose, and I also turn on my error log. That switches on my error handling. So if there is errors, it will just log my errors to the text file. That's what that's doing. So let's just run that again, just to demonstrate. Localhost. As you can see, went through that verbose output. If you go into the script, this is where they all are. There, it went to that, then it went to that. It did this, it was good, it gave me that. As you can see, connection successful. Went into this if block, and everything was hunky-dory, and it worked fine. And then, as I said, to the end of the script, check cfile.txt. The other way of doing this, let me just comment that out, and we'll just move down to here. This is piping in through just simple computer names. Oh, what have I done? Control-Z. Yeah, and that will basically pipe in any names, put as many names you want here, and it will work the same way as we'll demonstrate right now. I'll just clear that, save that, and run that. And there you go. Pretty awesome, hey? And down here is another way. This is probably the way you would do it. I would, I shouldn't have done that. Come over here. This is now a text file on my computer that has names in it. My computer names, which basically this Commandment gets that, and then pipes it into this get OS and info data, and I'll get exactly the same results as I just did, as you can see. Now, to show you something else, the error handling part of it, how that works. Now, for instance, yeah, all good, but I have a computer that's not online or doesn't exist. This is when this little error handling block here will kick in, as I will demonstrate right now. So we'll clear that. Let's run it with something bogus. We'll call it Bogus Joe. That's the name of the computer. What we would name that, I wouldn't know, but anyways. Goes up, failed. There you go, and that's it. So basically, like I said, it went to the for each, it went into here, it tested, it pinged it, it didn't get nothing, it skipped, it basically went to this point over here, it stopped, jumped into here, and then let me know, showed me that there was a failed text. Let's just go in there and have a look to see where it is. As you can see, there's that failed txt. Oh, let me bring it in, sorry about that, I thought the screen is limited. And if you go down there, you'll see Bogus Joe failed ping request. So it's pretty cool stuff. And you can really get really creative. You can put get date and format that nicely, so you've got a nice little output every time you go into your log file. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to show you today. I really do hope this has helped. I know it was quick, and I wasn't terribly in depth, but like I said, I didn't want to bore you to death, but I hope it has helped you and that you get a little bit more understanding about how a function works. It's really cool stuff. You can do some really cool things with this, make some awesome tools. This is a good place to start with functions, and yeah, just keep at it, don't give up. I know PowerShell is hard in the beginning, just like anything that's worth learning, but just bash at it, keep at it, and I guarantee you, before you know it, you'll be a guru. Alright, thanks guys, I hope it helped, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Fire loud, another round of shots. what?